So yung ano po,
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So for today, we're going to have a discussions about research basic. No, so today, no, IT and its related systems and services include every facet of the business and society. As a result, researchers in the IT field often consider the historical perspective regarding the issue at hand. So obtaining historical empirical research is usually the first step toward solving a problem. Additionally, the researcher usually needs or wants to know if any other organization has experienced a similar problem or situation. This is where a case studies, interviews, and experiments become the prepared primary source of information. So the graph and advances in information technology had been stipulated or stimulated by intense innovation and research efforts. Taking into considerations other research efforts in other industries, IT has shown to have one of the most funded research investment by organizations and governments alike. And this is due to the fact that IT and its services have become a critical resource for many organizations for driving profitability and boosting productivity. In this lesson, we will attempt to analyze and discuss the types of research methodologies and that have been used to conduct studies in the area of IT project management. And this topic will also attempt to compare and contrast these methodologies and analyze the issues of bias and limitations of these methodologies. So again, research on a whole is aimed at establishing awareness, understanding, comprehension, or knowledge regarding a specific issue, problem, or controversy. This diversity in the outcomes of the research inquires different research methods and techniques for different situations or questions. So towards that effort, research experts have introduced different research methodologies in an effort to provide researchers with the unique techniques they need to meet the diverse nature of research. These research methods are often classified based on either scope and or the depth of the subject matter of the study. So despite the fact that the field of IT research is fairly a new field, a variety of different research methods have been used in the discipline due to the diverse nature of IT and its related technologies. No? According to Bin Basat, the diversity of in IT research can be seen in the area of topics that are being dealt with. So the number of abstract areas being researched and the multitude of research methods being utilized. No? So to give us more details about the topic, let us all welcome our presenter. Go ahead.
Good day, everyone. We will discuss about the chapter 1 with the title of Research Basics. So we're going to start, but I would like you to meet our team. My name is Jen Riccier Manilios, together with Lexi D. Salamanca. First, what you can do with research. Engaging in research offers you the opportunity to explore your passions, acquire fresh knowledge, refine your problem-solving abilities, and venture into uncharted territories. As a student, engaging in research can offer you numerous benefits and opportunities, including knowledge expansion. Research allows you to delve deeper into a subject, gaining a more profound understanding of the topic you're studying. And it sharpens your critical thinking and problem-solving skills as you analyze data, draw conclusions, and evaluate evidence. And it gives you skill development. You can acquire valuable skills like data analysis, literature review, experimental design, and academic writing. In essence, research is a tool for exploring, discovering, and understanding the world around us. Its applications are broad and can have a profound impact on both individual knowledge and societal progress. Whether you're a student, professional, or a curious individual, research is a valuable skill that can empower you to explore, innovate, and make informed decisions. Next, we have characteristic of research. Research is a systematic and organized process that involves the investigation and exploration of a particular topic, issue, or question. It aims to generate new knowledge, enhance understanding, or solve specific problems. We have several characteristics of research. The first one is empirical. Empirical research is based on direct experience or observation by the researcher. Empirical relies on direct observation and measurement of phenomena in the real world. Researchers gather data through observations, experiments, surveys, or other method that involves collecting empirical evidence. And next is logical. Logical research is based on a valid procedure and principle. Logical highlights the importance of logical reasoning, critical thinking, and evidence-based decision-making in the research process. Researchers try to follow this principle to ensure that their research is sound, credible, and contributes to advancing knowledge in their respective field. Number three is cyclical. Research is a cyclical process because it starts with a problem and ends with a problem. The research process typically begins with identifying a problem or question to investigate. This initial phase involves defining research objectives and establishing the scope of the study. The cyclical nature of research reflects the dynamic and progressive nature of knowledge generation. It acknowledges that research is really a linear process but rather an ongoing journey of discovery and refinement. Each research cycle builds on the previous one, contributing to the advancement of understanding in a particular field or discipline. Next is analytical. Analytical research utilizes proven analytical procedure in gathering the data, whether historical, descriptive, experimental, and case study. Analytical research, a systematic and rigorous approach to examining data and information to uncover insight, make informed decisions, and contribute to the body of knowledge in a particular field. It is a valuable method for addressing complex problems, testing theories, and advancing our understanding of various phenomena. The fifth characteristic of research is critical. Research exhibits careful and precise judgment. Critical begins with a critical perspective that questions dominant narratives, ideologies, and power dynamics. Researchers aim to uncover hidden biases and inequalities. Critical research is a socially engaged and interdisciplinary approach that seeks to uncover and address underlying power structures, inequalities, and social injustices. It challenges conventional wisdom and aims to contribute to a more equitable and just society through research activism. Next, we have systematic. Systematic follows orderly and sequential procedure. Systematic is one of the key characteristics of research, emphasizing the importance of a structured and organized approach in conducting inquiries, investigations, or studies. The last one is replicability. The research design and procedures are replicated or repeated to enable the researcher to arrive at valid and conclusive results. Research should be designed and conducted in a way that allows other researchers to repeat the study using the same methods, materials, and data. This ensures that the results are consistent with the study and conducted again under the same document. under the same condition. Replicability is important principles in scientific research because they ensure that findings are not the result of chance or isolated occurrences. When research can be replicated by independent researchers using the same methods and data, it enhances the credibility and reliability of the scientific knowledge generated. It is a fundamental aspect of the scientific method, promoting transparency and accountability in research. So we're done in characteristic of research. Let's move on to the next reporter, Lexi D. Salamanca. She will discuss about the types of research and research design.
Hello, good day everyone. I am Lexi D. Salamanca from BSIT 34 and I am going to discuss the types of research. So the first one is applied research. Is focused on solving specific practical problems or addressing real-world issues. It aims to provide practical solutions and is often used in fields such as engineering, medicine, technology, and business. Applied research is a type of research designs that seeks to solve a specific problem or provide innovative solutions to issues affecting an individual, group, or society. It is often referred to as a scientific method of inquiry or contractual research because it involves the practical application of scientific methods to everyday problems. When conducting applied research, the researchers takes extra care to identify a problem, develop a research hypothesis, and goes ahead to test this hypothesis by an experiment. In many cases, this research approach employs empirical methods in an order to solve the practical problems. Also, applied research is sometimes considered to be a non-systematic inquiry because of its direct approach in seeking a solution to a problem. It is typically follow-up research design that further investigates the findings or pure basic research in order to validate these findings and apply them to create innovative solutions. So the types of applied research are evaluation research. Evaluation research is a type of applied research that analyzes existing information about research subject to arrive at objective research outcomes or reach informed decisions. This type of applied research is mostly applied in business contexts. For example, an organization may adopt evaluation research to determine how to cut down overhead costs. The second one is research and development. So for the research and development, it is a type of applied research that is focused on developing new products and services based on the needs of target markets. It also focuses on gathering information about marketing needs and finding ways to improve on an existing product or create new product that satisfy the identified needs. And the last one is action research. Action research is a type of applied research that is set on providing practical solutions to specific business problems by pointing the business in the right directions. Typically, action research is a process of reflective inquiry that is limited to specific context and situational in nature. Basic research. This type of research aims to expand fundamental knowledge and understanding in a particular field. It is often driven by curiosity and a desire to explore theoretical concepts. Basic research may not have immediate practical applications, but can lay the foundation for future applied research. Basic research focuses on the search for truth or development of theory. Because of this property, basic research is fundamental. Researchers with their fundamental background knowledge design studies that can test, refine, modify, or develop theories. Generally, these researchers are affiliated with an academic institution and perform this research as part of their graduate or doctoral studies. Gathering knowledge for knowledge's sake is the sole purpose of basic research. It is also called pure research. It can driven by a scientist's curiosity or interest in a scientific question. The main motivation in basic research is to expand man's knowledge, not to create or to invent something. There is no obvious commercial value to the discoveries that result from basic research. The term basic indicates that through theory generation, basic research provides the foundation for applied research. This research approach is essential for nourishing the expansion of knowledge. It also deals with questions that are intellectually interesting and challenging to the investigator. It also focuses on refuting or supporting theories that operate in a changing society. Quantitative research. In quantitative research, data is collected in numerical form and statistical methods are used to analyze and interpret the data. This type of research is often used for hypothesis testing, making predictions, and identifying patterns or trends. It focuses on numbers and numerical values, while qualitative research is about collecting and evaluating non-numerical data. It attempts to understand its subject matters in its natural setting and actual reality. It is one of the two major kinds of research, qualitative and quantitative research. It is used in natural and social sciences, including chemistry, biology, economics, sociology, psychology, and marketing. Conducting research is time taking and talking about quantitative research. Collecting and interpreting numerical data is difficult. Due to this, these students have to spend sufficient time conducting this kind of research. Quantitative research has four distinct types. The first one is the survey research. This type of research is conducted through means of online surveys, online polls, and questionnaires. A group of people is chosen for the survey, and the method is used by big and small organizations and companies. They use it to understand their customers better. Ideally, the survey is done through face-to-face meetings and interviews. Now it is conducted through various online methodologies. Also, the second one is correlational research. So the correlational research is conducted to identify the relationship between two entities. These entities must be closely related and have a significant impact on each other. This research is conducted to identify, evaluate, and understand the correlation between the variables and how they depend on each other. The researchers use mathematical and statistical methods to understand this correlation. Some factors that they consider include relationships, trends, and patterns between these variables. Sometimes, the researchers make changes in one of the variables to notice the effect on the other one. The third one is the causal comparative research. This research is also known as quasi-experimental research. It is the based on the cause and effect relationship between the two variables. Here, one of the variables is dependent on the other one, but the other one is independent. The researchers does not change the independent variable. The research is not limited to statistical analysis only, but it includes other groups and variables also. The research could be conducted on the variables, no matter the kind of relation they have. The statistical analysis method is used to acquire the results. The fourth one is the experimental research. This kind of research is based on proving or contradicting a theory or statement. It is also known as true experimentation. It's usually focused on single or multiple theories. The respective theory is not proved yet, and the research method is commonly used in natural science. There could be some theories involved in this research due to this. It is more common in social sciences. A qualitative research method is a way of collecting and analyzing non-numerical data, such as text, video, or audio, to understand people's experiences, opinions, or perspectives. Qualitative research can help to explore complex phenomena in depth and generate new ideas for further research. Some common approaches to qualitative research are grounded theory, ethnography, action research, phenomenological research, and narrative research. Each approach has its own aims and methods of data collection and analysis. Some common methods of data collections are observations, interviews, focus groups, surveys, and secondary research. Descriptive research. It aims to provide an accurate and comprehensive description of a phenomenon, event, or group. It does not involve hypothesis testing but focuses on documenting and characterizing what is observed. As a college student, you might encounter descriptive research in various academic disciplines because it aims to provide a detailed and accurate account of the subject being studied. It doesn't seek to establish causal relationships, but rather to answer questions like what, who, when, and how. Researchers collect data through methods such as surveys, observations, content analysis, or existing records. These data typically in the form of facts, figures, or descriptions. In college, you might encounter descriptive research in assignments or projects that involve describing the characteristics of a specific population, summarizing historical events, analyzing trends in data, or detailing the features of a particular concept of theory. The data collected is often analyzed using statistical tools or qualitative methods depending on the nature of the research. The goal is to present the information in a clear and organized manner. It can take various forms, including cross-sectional studies, or as called as data collected at one point in time, longitudinal studies, or data collected over an extended period, and case studies, such as in-depth analysis or a single subject. Research findings are typically presented in reports, research papers, or presentations, and they aim to provide a comprehensive and unbiased description of the subject under investigation. Remember that descriptive research is just one of many research methods used in academics, and its application depends on the research question and goals of a study. It serves as a valuable foundation for further research and analysis. Exploratory research. It is conducted when there is limited existing knowledge about a topic or when the research question is not well defined. It is used to gain insight, generate initial hypotheses, and explore new areas of inquiry. It is a type of research conducted by college students and researchers to investigate a topic, problem, or phenomenon where there is limited existing information or knowledge. Here's what you should know about exploratory research. So, the primary purpose of exploratory research is to gain a preliminary understanding of a subject, generate ideas, and identify potential research questions. It's often used when little is known about a topic, and further investigation is needed to formulate hypotheses or research objectives. Data collection. Exploratory research uses various methods such as interviews, focus groups, surveys, literature reviews, or observations to collect qualitative or limited quantitative data. These methods help in exploring and uncovering new insights. The open-ended. Researchers often employ open-ended questions or flexible data collection techniques to allow for a wide range of responses and ideas. The focus is on gathering diverse perspectives and viewpoints. So the data collected in exploratory research is typically analyzed in a qualitative manner. Researchers look for patterns, themes, or commonalities in the data to form initial hypotheses or research questions. One of the outcomes of exploratory research is the generation of research hypotheses or questions that can be further tested in subsequent research phases, such as descriptive or explanatory research. Findings from exploratory research are often reported in preliminary reports, research proposals, or literature reviews. These findings guide the direction or further research. So for the flexibility, it is flexible and adaptive, allowing researchers to refine their research questions and methods based on initial findings. It's an essential first step in the research process. So overall, it is valuable for uncovering new perspectives, ideas, and potential research directions. It also helped the researchers lay the groundwork for more focused and structured research studies by providing insights into what is worth investigating further. Explanatory research is designed to explain why certain phenomena occur. It often follows exploratory research and involves testing hypotheses to establish cause and effect relationships. Explanatory research, also known as causal research, is a research method used by college students and researchers to understand the cause and effect relationships between variables or phenomena. Here's what you should know about explanatory research. So, the primary goal of explanatory research is to explain why certain events or phenomena occur. It goes beyond descriptive research, which simply describes a situation by attempting to identify and understand the underlying causes and relationships. Hypothesis testing. Explanatory researchers often involves formulating hypotheses and conducting experiments or surveys to test these hypotheses. It seeks to determine if changes in one variable, the independent variable, cause changes in one another variable, the dependent variable. Researchers can often control studies or experiments to manipulate one or more variables while keeping other factors constant. This allows them to isolate the causal relationship between variables. For the example, as a college student, you might encounter explanatory research in science and social science disciplines when conducting experiments, running statistical analysis, or investigating the impact of interventions or policies. Explanatory research typically relies on quantitative data and statistical analysis to establish causation. Regression analysis and experimental design are common techniques used in this type of research. So overall, explanatory research is valuable for gaining insights into the reasons behind observed phenomena, which can be essential for making informed decisions, solving problems, and advancing knowledge in various academic fields. Correlational research. Research examines the statistical relationships between variables without manipulating them. It assesses the degree and direction of association between variables but does not establish causation. Correlational research. It is a type of research methodology used to examine the statistical relationship between two or more variables. It aims to determine whether and to what extent changes in one variable are associated with changes in another variable. Here are some key points about correlational research. So, the primary purpose of correlational research is to identify and measure the strength and direction of the relationship between variables. It helps researchers understand how variables are related in a systematic way. In correlational research, there are typically two types of variables: the independent variable, or so-called presumed cause, and the dependent variable, so-called the outcome or effect. The goal is to explore how changes in the independent variable correspond to change in the dependent variable. Types of relationships. Correlational research can reveal different types of relationship between variables, i- including positive correlations. Both variables increase or decrease together. Negative correlations, or one variable increases while the other decreases. Or no correlations, no discernible relationship. The data collection researchers collect data through methods such as surveys, observations, or the examinations of existing records and datasets. They measure the variables of interest and then analyze the data to assess their relationship. Statistical techniques such as correlation coefficients, Pearson's correlation coefficient, are used to quantify the strength and direction of the relationship between variables. This analysis helps determine whether the relationship is significant or not. And lastly, correlational research is valuable for identifying patterns and associations in data. It provides insights into how variables might be related in real world situations, which can inform further research, policy decisions, or practical applications. However, it is essential to exercise caution when interpreting correlations, as they do not imply causation and other factors may at be play. Experimental research. It involves the manipulation of one or more independent variable to assess their impact on a dependent variable. It is designed to establish cause and effect relationships and control for extraneous factors. Experimental research is a scientific research method used to investigate cause and effect relationships between variables by manipulating one or more variables and measuring the resulting effects. Here are the characteristics and components of experimental research. So the primary purpose goal of experimental research is to establish causal relationship between variables. In an experiment, there are two typically main types of variables. The first one is the independent variable. This is the variable that the researchers manipulates or controls. It is believed to be the cause of any observed changes. The second one is the dependent variable. This is the variable that is measured to assess the impact of the independent variable. It is the outcome of the effect. Experimental research often includes a control group, which is a group that is not exposed to the independent variable. The control group serves as a baseline for comparison with the experimental group. To ensure the validity of the results, the researchers use random assignment to assign participants or subjects to either the experimental or control group. Randomization helps minimize biases and ensures that the groups are comparable. Researchers intentionally manipulate the independent variable by introducing specific changes or treatment to the experimental group while keeping the control group unchanged. This manipulation it was allowed for the assessment of causation. Data is collected by the dependent variable in both the experimental and control groups. Researchers record and analyze the data to determine whether there are significant differences between the groups. And lastly, it is considered the gold standard for establishing causation in scientific research. It allows researchers to systematically investigate the impact of specific variables while controlling for potential confounding factors. However, conducting experiments can be complex and maybe involve ethical considerations, such as informed consent and well-being of participants. Action research is conducted by practitioners, often in educational or organizational settings. It aims to solve specific problems within the context of the practitioner's work and may be involve multiple cycles of planning, action, observation, and reflection. Action research is a systematic and collaborative inquiry process conducted by individuals or groups, often within an organization or community, to address practical problems or challenges and drive positive change. It involves a cyclical process of planning, acting, observing, and reflecting. So, the primary goal of action research is to improve practice or solve real world problems. It aims to bridge the gap between theory and practice by addressing issues in a specific context and generating practical solutions. Action research often involves collaboration among researchers, practitioners, and stakeholders who work together to identify and address the problem. This collaborative approach ensures that the research is relevant and actionable, typically follows a cyclical process, often represented as a spiral or iterative model. The process involves several stages. The first one is the identification of a problem. Researchers and stakeholders identify a problem or challenge that requires attention and improvement. Planning. A research plan is developed outlining the research objectives, data collection methods, and intervention strategies. Actions. Researchers and practitioners implement that planned change or interventions in the real world context. Observation. Data is collected through various means such as surveys, interviews, observations, or document analysis to assess the impact of the action taken. For the action research, is focused on practical application. The knowledge generated through the research is intended to inform and improve decision making and practice within the specific context where the research is conducted. And lastly, it is widely used in education, social sciences, healthcare, and community development, among other fields. It is a valuable approach for addressing complex, real world changes and promoting positive changes based on evidence and collaborative. Research design refers to the overall plan or strategy that a researcher uses to conduct a research study. It outlines the methods, procedures, and techniques that will be employed to collect and analyze data, as well as the rationale behind these choices. A well-structured research design is crucial for ensuring the validity, reliability, and relevance of research findings. Research designs can vary depending on the nature of the research and its objectives. Research design is a structured plan or framework that outlines the systematic process and approach you will use to conduct your research as a college student. It serves as a blueprint for how will you collect, analyze, and interpret data to answer your research questions or achieve your research objectives. Descriptive research design. This design is used to describe and document characteristics, behaviors, or phenomena. It focuses on answering what questions and often involves surveys, observational studies, content analysis, or case studies. Descriptive research design It is a type of research methodology that focuses on describing and summarizing the characteristics, behaviors, or attributes of a subject or phenomenon without manipulating it. The primary goal of descriptive research is to provide an accurate and comprehensive account of what is being studied. The main purpose of descriptive research is to answer questions like what, who, when, where, and how. It seeks to provide a detailed, factual, and objective description of the subject under investigation. It also involves the systematic collection of data through methods such as surveys, observations, content analysis, or the examination of existing records or documents. These methods helps researchers gather information about the variables or aspects of what to describe. Descriptive research can take various forms including cross-sectional studies or data collected at one point in time, longitudinal studies, or data collected over an extended period, and case studies, in-depth analysis of a single subject or a small group. Research findings from descriptive studies are reported in research papers, reports, or presentations. The emphasis is on providing comprehensive and unbiased description of the subject, often using descriptive statistics. And lastly, descriptive research is an essential starting point in the research process, as it lays the groundwork for more in-depth and explanatory studies. It helps researchers to gain a better understanding of a topic, generate research questions, and make informed decisions based on factual information. Correlational research design. Correlational research examines the statistical relationships between variables without manipulating them. Researchers use correlation and coefficients to measure the strength and direction of associations between variables. Correlational research design. It is a type of research methodology that aims to examine and analyze the statistical relationships or associations between two or more variables without manipulating it. It focuses on assessing the degree to which changes in one variable are related to changes in another variable. So here are the key and characteristic components of correlational research design. The primary purpose of correlational research is to determine whether there is a relationship between variables and, if so, to what extent. It seeks to quantify the strength and direction of those relationships. Researchers collect data through various methods such as surveys, questionnaires, observation, or examination of existing records or datasets. It also collected for the both independent and dependent variables. It's important to note that correlational research does not establish causation. It can show that two variables are related, but it cannot prove that changes in one variable cause changes in the another. Establishing causation cause requires experimental research. And lastly, correlational research design is valuable for identifying associations and partners in data. It can help researchers generate hypotheses, make predictions, or identify areas for further research. However, it is important to remember that correlation does not imply causation, and other factors may influence the observed relationships. Experimental research design. Experimental research is characterized by the manipulation of one or more independent variables to observe their effect on a dependent variable. It involves random assignment of participants to experimental and control groups to establish causation. Experimental research design. It is a structured approach used to investigate cause and effect relationships by intentionally manipulating one or more variables and observing the resulting effects. It involves a systematic process of planning, implementing, and analyzing experiments to determine whether changes in one variable cause changes in another variable. This method provides a reliable way to establish causal connections in scientific research. And lastly, the quasi-experimental research. The resembles experimental research but lacks random assignments to groups. Researchers can often use existing groups or conditions and attempt to control the confounding variables. Quasi-experimental research design. It is a type of scientific investigation used in social sciences and other fields to study the effects of certain variables or interventions on a group of subjects. Unlike true experiments, quasi-experiments lack complete control over all variables and random assignment of subjects to groups. Instead, researchers often use existing groups or naturally occurring conditions to compare and analyze outcomes. While not as rigorous as true experiments, quasi-experiments can still provide valuable insights into cause and effect relationships in real-world settings. In simpler terms, it's a research approach that tries to understand the impact of something but without the same level of control and randomization as a traditional experiment.
Sir, tapos na po. May exercise po kaming isasend dito sa Meet.
Okay, so prior to that, I just want to add an inputs related to the topic. Again, as our presenter mentioned, in building knowledge, there are many stages and methodologies to generate insights that contribute to its understanding and advancement. Basic research and applied research are usually the most effective on this path. So understanding research allows us to understand all the properties of a specific science or phenomenon at a fundamental level. And some example are branches such as sociology, humanities, and other scientific fields. And we will, of course, our presenter also tell us some type of research and in its possible application. So as they mentioned, that basic research is a type of research used in scientific field to understand and extend our knowledge about a specific phenomenon or field. It is also accepted as pure investigation or fundamental research. So this type of research contributes to the intellectual body of knowledge, and basic research is concerned with the generalization of theory and branch of knowledge. Its purpose is usually to generate data that confirm, refute the initial thesis of the study. It can also be called fundamental research, and many things get built on these foundations, and more practical applications are made. So our presenter differentiate the basic research and applied research. Again, the basic research finds its counterpart and complement in applied research. They are two handy research methods when generating and giving a utility to the generated data. So there are very marked differences, and understanding them will allow you to understand the path followed to create new knowledge. So the most important difference between basic research and applied research lies in the objective of each. It seeks to expand the information and understanding of the object of study, while applied research aims to provide solutions to the problem studied. So the relationship between these two types of research is usually very close, since the methodologies used are often quite similar, and the significant change is found in the initial and final point of the investigation. So on the basic research first, you can there can be many example of basic research, katulad nung a study of how stress affects labor productivity, studying the best factors of pricing strategies, understanding the client level of satisfaction before certain interaction with the company providing solution, and let's say, for example, the understanding of the leadership style of a particular company. There are pros and cons, of course, when it comes to basic research. Basic research is critical for expanding the pool of knowledge in any discipline. The introductory course usually does not have a strict period, and the researchers concerned commonly guide them. The conclusion of the fundamental course is generally applicable in a wide range of case and plots. No? At the same time, the basic study has advantages, no, as well, and the findings of this type of study have limited or no constructive conclusion. In another sense, fundamental studies do not resolve complex and definite business problems, but it does help, no, you understand them better. Taking actions and decisions based on the results of this type of research will increase the impact and these insights may have on the problem studied if that is the purpose. So uh, now, how to do basic research? This process follows the same steps as a standards no research methodology. The most crucial point is to define a thesis or theory that involves a perfectly defined case study, and this can be a phenomenon or a research problem observed in a particular place. There are many types of research, no, such as longitudinal, observational, and exploratory studies. So the first thing you should do is determine if you can obtain the desired result with research or if it is better to opt for another type of research. Once you have determined your research methodology, the data collection process begins, also depending on your type of study. No? Sometimes you can collect the data passively through observation or experimentation. On other occasions, no, intervene directly and collect quantitative information with tools such as surveys. So platforms like Questions, okay, will help you a wide range of functions and tools to carry out your research. Its survey software has helped students and professionals obtaining all informations actually to generate. In addition, it has a data analysis suite, no, with which you can analyze all this information using all kinds of reports for a more straightforward interpretations of the final result. I mean, no. Uh, Despite the fact that a field of IT research is fairly a new field, a variety of different research methods have been used in this discipline due to the diverse nature of IT and its related technologies. No? So due to, of course, the diversity of IT research can be seen in the array of topics that are being dealt with, no? The number of abstract no, areas being researched, no? And the multitude of research methods being utilized. Some categories or some categorize the nature of IT research in seven distinct categories. Number one, of course, as a field natin, software development category, which encompasses the IT research efforts now geared towards the enhancement of software, such as designing algorithm that provides instruction to hardware. Now, concepts such as programming, algorithm, logic design, and software engineering are dominant in this category. Another, of course, the information practice category, which encompasses the IT research efforts geared toward augmenting the relationship between information and technology. In other words, IT is viewed as a process of enabler by supplying needed information. Concepts such as information manipulation, katulad ng storage, or database, no, retrieval, of course, ng data, transferring ng data, processing ng data, and how you'll be able to access data. This will be the dominant category when it comes to information practice category. Number three is the human technology interaction, which encompasses the IT research efforts geared towards improving the relationship between IT and users. No? Dominant in this category are issues such as the how users interrelate with the use of variety of IT artifacts and that they need to make the best use, no, out of the artifacts. Number four is application to the other discipline, especially right now. No, there are certain collaboration between IT and HRM student, or IT with engineering student, or with education student, and so on. So because application to other disciplines, which encompasses the IT research efforts geared toward improving IT application. In this category, the role of IT is viewed as a tool that is utilized by other disciplines to solve problem using IT artifacts. That's why most commonly our IT student developing software in addition for teaching, let's say, for example, say, Rizal subject, teaching mathematics, and so on. And even as no, we're trying to develop a software, let's say, for example, for a front desk no, of the hotel or even the hospital, the payroll of the hospital, the human resource, and so on and so forth. This is what we call application to other disciplines. No? Then impact, so which encompasses IT research efforts geared toward the consideration of the impact that IT has on people as being a positive enhancement in their lives. Such impact is in the rise of ubiquitous computing, which refers to the third generation of computers, where computing provides immediate response to people's needs for services or information by connecting the functionalities that exists in the real world. Another is the sanction, which encompasses the views and opinions of non-IT people, such as university faculty or other scientists with interest in IT, who can influence the shape and form of IT research and what constitutes unacceptable IT research. And lastly, the constructed, which defines those IT research efforts that have no specific category. Therefore, the researcher based on personal interest or intentions would define such as research effort. And this category avoids neglecting those uncategorized research efforts which might prove to be relevant for IT. So on the other hand, categorizes the overwhelming majority of IT research in the application of IT in an organization. Now, categorization includes the planning, utilization, and management of IT, and its related resources in the organizational setting. So further indicates that the nature of IT research is focused on answering the question of what work as far as the applications of technology is concerned. Okay, so I think that's it for this topic. Okay, so may I request everyone to please turn on your camera para sa attendance natin for today. So next meeting